how did you end up looking for and or meeting Dean and thinking that this would be something that would help you?
Yeah, great question. So, we actually like it got to a point where like we were at I think like 30 something like team members in our organization,
Yeah.
and we started feeling like, hey, what's going on? Like, why is everyone going in this direction? And we're just not aligned. And people were like working on different things. I'm like, that's not important. And then truth be told, the founding team, like the founders, like we were also like focusing on different things. We all had our own little fox mentality where, Tommy was working on this thing that he thought was really important. I was working on something that was super important. And I came across like scaling up. And we're like, hey, this is like amazing. Like, we should try implementing it. And the three of us actually did what it suggested to do was like take a day off, get off site, and we rented our like a little like office room outside of our in downtown
Good.
outside of our
Yep.
office. And then I was facilitating. I was facilitating and trying to like, guys, let's work on this map. And it was hard, Kevin.
Yes.
Like other found like or my other two founders are amazing, but they were like checking their phone, they weren't engaged,
Yep.
and it there's so much emotion behind like, what do you think the brutal facts are? And then we started getting into like heated discussions about them and just was just not working. So we decided to be like, okay, well, how do other companies like champion scaling up? Because obviously it's like this we thought of this as like a map of like
Yeah.
map to your
It's a
business
great
and
way to put
scaling.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're like, okay, well, what do other companies do? So we actually started looking into like companies or people that actually facilitate. And we never really like thought about like, oh, facilitation is one of those things. But then we went to actually this like 1 day seminar with this other company that was, talking about high level scaling up. But we just didn't resonate with that particular coach. And randomly, I took like I always do networking, and I took Adam Jones from Thinkific, the VP of sales, for
Yep.
coffee because we're like, hey, we're about to like hire our first VP. Like, can you give us some like advice on what this person should look like? He was so generous with his time, and he started talking to us about like scaling up. I'm like, oh, you do this too? This is great. But how do you guys do it? And I thought it was like an internal like team member from their company that champions it. And then he mentioned Dean. We work with this amazing coach, Dean. And then I remember right after the coffee, I like went on the website, I emailed Dean, like info at Lawrence and Co. Didn't hear back for a week. And I was like, okay, I really need to get a hold of this person. And then I asked Adam for introduction. And like I'm very like Kristen knows this about me. I'm very spiritual and I'm very like intuitive. So I remember
Yep.
when I first looked at like Dean's profile, I was like, look at this guy. Like he just looks like a really kind coach. I'm like, really resonated with me. And then Dean reached out and funny fact was like as much as we were interviewing him, he was like, I want to come over to your office. I want to see like how your office looks like. And we were like, and then suddenly I'm like, oh wow, he's interviewing us. This is great. It's a good testament that Dean is
Yes.
also equally as selective with his clients. So yeah, we just met and he came to our office.